It was the knowledge and craft of a 200 gamer, but it was executed by a man in his second year. You've no doubt watched Vision of the Dying Moments from Adelaide v Fremantle and thought, wow, that spoil is one of the smartest bits of play I've ever seen. Hey, it's Jordan Keneal here, and we're diving into the Heath Chapman experience on the Scouting Report. Fremantle is up by 1 point with just seconds left on the clock, but in the heat of the moment, you'd forgive most defenders for rushing this one through. Let's take a look at the behind the goals footage and follow Chapman around in the last minute. Adelaide's Nick Murray is Chapman's opponent here, and he wants to drag him back to the goal square, waiting for that hack kick forward. He then checks in with Rory Lobb to make sure he's in the right position. As soon as that kick hits the boot, it's Chapman who engages in the body contact first. He gets his left arm straight into Murray's chest and creates just enough space. That left arm is holding Murray at bay, and he's able to keep his right arm free the whole time, which gets the match-saving spoil that he's able to keep in bounds. Murray is left on the ground, but Chapman gets up instantly. He receives the handball from Lobb and launches the kick, which falls perfectly into Liam Henry's arms as the siren goes. Going through Chapman's under-18s footage, you could see instantly how smart he was as a player, and how much better he is at reading the play than anyone else around him. He's brutally courageous when it comes to flying back in packs, and Chapman just tracks the flight of the ball so well. He's your modern play-in-front sort of defender, with a little bit of Jake Lever to his game, but he's also able to do all the tough stuff. What separates him from other key defenders is how much of the footy he racks up. He averaged over 20 disposals per game in the Waffle Colts before being drafted. Watch this sequence. He floats in front of the pack for the intercept mark here. Then he nails the first kick and instantly starts sprinting to get the ball back. Then he's laced out to a teammate on the wing. Chapman keeps sprinting through the middle, gets it back again. Then he waits a second for the play to develop upfield before launching a kick that lands perfectly on the forward's chest. Let's move over to the Suns because Jack Lukosius might be ready to take the leap towards stardom. There's been a heap of positivity this week about Matt Rowell and Isaac Rankin, and it's completely deserved, but Lukosius' development is intriguing. He was developed as a skinnier sort of lead up forward with a lethal kick. Lukosius didn't really fit the mould of being a key tool, and less than halfway through his first season with the Suns, he was switched from the forward line to defence. He flourished as a link-up halfback. We saw him at his best last year when he had a ridiculous 881 metres gained against Port Adelaide. He's just so damaging with the ball in his hand. But, as we've seen in the Amy Community Series and Round 1, he's become a forward again. I spoke to Jack in 2019 and asked him what his film sessions look like. On the day after games, he'd sit with Peter Wright and Josh Corbett for half an hour and break down footage. But it wasn't the forward craft they'd look at, it was the transition game. Jack's quote at the time was, "Getting in front of the ball to help your midfield and your backline to get back numbers and take intercept marks. And then it's getting back inside 50 as hard as you can to get off your man." Lukosius has always been an excellent runner, so the concept of him getting up the ground and then sprinting back towards the goals is something he's always had in the bag. Here's a clip from his first ever Sandford game as a 17-year-old. I'll fast forward through parts of this, but he gets up to the contest at the start, and then he's able to double back and beat everyone in the race for this goal. Here's the 2022 version of that, as he adapts to a much more physical game. Lukosius is able to push off Jake Kolodjasny and then gets out the back for an easy goal. That wasn't something we saw in his first year up forward, but now he's much stronger and up to the task. We'll catch you next week on the Scouting Report.